The strange thing about loneliness is that it doesn't always show up when you're alone. Sometimes it waits. The day feels normal. You're busy, distracted, surrounded by people. There are things to do, places to go, messages to answer. And for a while, you don't notice it. Then the day ends. Everyone goes home. The conversations slow down. The notifications become less frequent. The noise disappears. And suddenly you're left alone with your own thoughts. That's when it arrives. Not all at once. Quietly. You pick up your phone. You check for messages. Nothing new. You put it down. A few minutes later you check again. Not because you're expecting something important. Because part of you is hoping to feel remembered. That's the part nobody talks about. Loneliness isn't always about being alone. Sometimes it's about wondering if anyone thought about you when you weren't there. You scroll through photos, stories, updates. Everyone seems connected. Everyone seems busy. Everyone seems needed. And from the outside it looks like everyone found something you missed. But appearances are strange. The people who look surrounded by others can feel lonely too. The difference is you can only hear your own silence, not theirs. Still, that doesn't stop the feeling. Because loneliness has a way of turning comparisons into evidence. Every photo becomes proof. Every message you didn't receive becomes proof. Every invitation you weren't part of becomes proof. And slowly you start building a story. A story where everyone is moving forward and you're standing still. A story where everyone belongs somewhere except you. The dangerous part is that loneliness is convincing. Not because it's always true. Because it sounds true. Especially at night. Especially when there's nobody around to challenge it. That's why loneliness feels heavier after midnight. The world gets quieter. And your thoughts get louder. Every distraction disappears. Every unfinished feeling comes back. Every doubt asks for your attention. And in the silence you start searching for signs. Signs that you matter. Signs that someone cares. Signs that someone remembers you. But maybe that's what makes loneliness so painful. Not the absence of people. The absence of certainty. The inability to know whether you crossed someone's mind today. Whether your name appeared in a conversation. Whether someone almost texted you and decided not to. You never get those answers. So your mind fills in the blanks. And unfortunately it usually fills them with fear. Maybe nobody thought about me. Maybe nobody noticed. Maybe nobody cares. But here's the truth. Most people are fighting invisible battles. Most people are trapped inside their own thoughts. Most people are wondering things they never say out loud. And sometimes, the person you think has forgotten you is wondering why you never reached out. The person who seems surrounded by friends feels alone when the room gets quiet. The person who looks happy online is staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. asking the same questions you are. Loneliness likes to convince you that you're the only one feeling it. That's its greatest lie. Because loneliness isn't proof that nobody cares. It's proof that you're human. Human enough to want connection. Human enough to miss people. Human enough to wonder whether you matter. And maybe the goal isn't to eliminate loneliness. Maybe the goal is to stop treating it like evidence. Because the feeling is real. But the story it tells you isn't always true. And maybe that's why loneliness feels different at night. Not because the world changes. But because the silence gives your fears a microphone.